Equity. God, I love this song.
I know, me too.
So good.
Gotta keep talking.
Shout out to Bert Kreischer. He used to go on stage, slam a beer, take his shirt off every show
To this song?
to this song because it has such a great lead up.
It's great.
Think about coming from the back of an audience
Amped.
this song. Like, he's still not on stage yet.
Really?
Yeah, people are clapping. They're fired up because it's a party crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets up there, takes his shirt off,
Whipping it around.
whipping it around. God, I love that guy.
Horse
He's
riding.
So fun. Shout out to Time Suck Podcast. I know we shouldn't give a plug for another podcast as we're starting the Sweat Equity Podcast, but he'll be in town. I'm going to give an open invite. Dan, come on this podcast. You're going to be in Tampa pretty soon, and I have become a fanboy of Time Suck Podcast.
I keep forgetting to listen to
It's so good. Yeah, but I know you'll listen to it. Once you listen to it, you're gonna be a sucker, as he calls it.
Oh, I'm sure, but I don't need
There's
any
a-
more time sucks.
Think about it. It's like
Lamb.
dick jokes with historical events.
Oh, okay.
So it's similar to our vibe, where we want to have dick jokes with business talk.
We should do a whole network of dick jokes.
I was like, oh man, it'd be awesome to do a business version of Time Suck where you could talk about all these old school businesses, and he does a whole timeline kind of thing.
Oh.
It's interesting. At the very least, you should listen to it for research for us, because it makes us look like shit that we don't do enough. Like
Extra stuff?
like there's so much research involved. Like, think about talking about a topic for an hour and a half, one topic, and I'm going backwards in the catalog. Listen to the beginning of them.
Who's the host?
Dan Cummings.
Oh, okay.
He's a comedian. Lives
I
in
gotcha.
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
When you said Dan, I didn't know if it was like a Dan Carlin spinoff because I was.
Oh, my bad. I
Talk-
thought I said Dan Cummings in the beginning.
Oh no, you just.
Cum dog.
I don't know. I might have not been paying attention, but Dan Carlin. You mean you talk about research, dude? Dan Carlin. Those take months for him to do those podcasts and research and record. I mean,
Right. So think about that, but think of like you're a comedian, stand-up comic, and in the beginning, I think he was just doing it by himself, and now he has a research team. He's kind of crowdsourced people that have listened, kind of thing. I hit him up. I thanked him. You know,
okay. Do you know him?
I actually opened for him like 7-8 years ago randomly at the Tampa Improv.
That's enough. That's an in.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's weird, man. You ram jam around all the time.
With your friend Black Betty.
It's weird. Like a comedian and kind of like a lot of big time consultants. Like you kind of like you travel in all these different. You become fast friends with a lot of people. Now he doesn't remember me, but like there's so many comics and like just random business events I used to have to go to that all over the country that just this weird network of people. Like my LinkedIn's fucking out. The real people I'm friends with on LinkedIn that I know, not just hoarding out like I've been doing.
Yeah, me too.
They're all over the place. It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's good when I put a joke out there last night that my 23andMe is what did I say? 0.4 Finnish. I'm 1.2 from the Isle of Man, and then 98.4% male white privilege.
Right. That was pretty good.
I'm waiting for
the delivery of your own joke was a little lacking.
Yeah, I was trying to remember the numbers.
Like nobody was going to do that math.
So I was like, oh man, see that's what sucks is like I can't even. I'm already worried when someone is going to talk shit to me about that in person. It will happen.
I think it was a joke.
It happens more and more. It's just like heckling has increased way more since Trump has become like a thing.
All the empowered numbskulls.
Or super liberal people that are like, I have a voice.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak out.
It's not good on either side. It sucks.
That's true.
But if you're like a comic that doesn't like the crowd talking, I enjoy it. I love chaos in the crowd.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're trying to film a special or something,
Yeah.
that would be annoying.
Well, speaking of chaos, we're gonna get Matt Fernandez in here. Speaking of
Oh, good.
specials, because he's got
Somebody funny.
He's going to be recording one if you're in the Tampa Bay area, which a smattering of our audience is. He'll be recording at Rock Brothers Brewery. They have an upstairs like performance hall. Seats like 150. It's pretty nice. He's going to be recording his album
Yeah.
or special or whatever you call it now. I don't know. And it'll be August 4th.
Okay.
There's 2 shows probably, I'm going to guess. Probably an 8 and a 10. I don't have it in front of me.
He
so
should. He should
he'll
have
come
2
on.
shows.
He's going to come on soon. He's going to pimp it out.
Sweet.
But
yeah, he's funny. What is at Fat Hernandez on Twitter?
I tell everybody.
You've seen his tweets before, probably stolen, but he's getting tweeted out by all kinds of people.
Did I tell you?
Writer for Playboy.
I saw his tweet stolen in a meme on LinkedIn, used by like a recruiter, and I called her out on it in the comments.
Oh wow. Were they local? The recruiter?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't care.
I don't care about that. I'm talking about they definitely stole it then.
I stick up for the oh no. That thing's been passed around like crazy. It's the one about like my girlfriend told me to go
take a spider.
Take the spider out.
I love, and that's not even his funniest. I mean, it's like it's good, but
it's clean. It's
yeah,
clever.
It's clean, I guess.
So what is it?
My girlfriend told me to take a spider out. Turns out he was a nice guy.
Wants to be a lawyer.
Wants to be a lawyer.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, something like that. Great, butchered
Yeah,
that
we just
one.
butchered the shit out of that.
And so it's the same thing, but she used it. This dovetails into the topic we're going to get into. Is she's an IT recruiter, and so she tried to apply that to IT.
I'd love to see that stretch.
And I was like, hey, just give credit to Matt Fernandez because that's his joke. And then I linked to the original tweet.
I've actually seen that same exact one on Reddit. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Almost the top of Reddit.
Oh, he'll tell you
of
how.
Of course, Reddit is just steal everything. But
I'll tell people like Matt Fernandez is like, it's weird being friends with kind of one of the best people on funniest people on Twitter. I mean, he's funny in other ways, but I'm saying like Twitter is a very one-liner kind of joke.
Yeah, he's got a great economy of words.
It's so hard to be funny on there for someone like me. I like being verbose and kind of ramble. He's the opposite. He can do the one-liner and just like, but you know what? It's a work ethic too, because he broke it down to me. He writes 7 to 10 jokes a day while at a job. So
air traffic controller.
Yeah. Just assistant
doing
surgeon.
a Sudoku.
Yeah. So he treated it like he was going to be on a late night show where you have to write like 100 a day. He was like, just put out 7 to 10 a day, which probably means he writes about 20.
Yeah. That's what you got to do.
It's pretty amazing. And that's the work ethic people don't realize with like artsy kind of stuff is like you have to do the work.
Yeah. There's a big pile of shit for all the good ones that you see. There's a big pile that's 10 times bigger than that whatever it is.
Even our low rent production here, there's a lot of work to get into here to get to this, right? Even though it's made to seem like it's very cash. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, we come into it very casual because we want to make sure we're not all hyped up, but like, and we want to come in and education or whatever it's called.
I've been shooting for more hype recently. Yeah, I think we need to hype it up.
Hype it to get roided?
We need a speaker in here or something.
Yeah?
Play some music.
Ooh, yeah.
Beforehand.
Get fired up.
Team stretch, team cheer.
Oh, I do like team calisthenics.
Yeah.
They just, especially the 80s kind where everybody's like right in sync on cocaine.
Yep.
Knee highs.
Yeah.
Speaking of 80s, we're still in the branding process for the rebranding. Oh, I've got some stuff, man.
Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of it too. I'm excited.
I'm thinking take palm tree background-ish kind of thing, very subtle in the back. I want the big sweat equity and that Bayshore font we've been looking at. Big neon.
Yeah. Can we do a Crockett and Tubbs photo shoot?
I thought about that, but I thought maybe we go white suits. Just no parody.
Yeah.
Just straight up white.
Okay.
Because white jackets used to be the deal.
White jackets, pink T-shirts underneath,
something
maybe?
like that. Yeah. Okay. And then I was thinking
maybe you get a different color. I get pink.
Yeah.
So I get pink.
Whatever you want, man.
Okay. I called pink.
Okay. Do you want pink?
I'll
go an
I
ascot.
called it. It's on.
I'll go pink ascot.
God damn it.
So by technicality,
I'm going to go no shirt, orange orange handkerchief.
Well, I was actually thinking, I wonder if we should get ourselves animated like Bill Simmons is.
Love it. Anything works.
We still have to take a photo, but I think that might play better in the whole kind of neon synth kind of vibe. And then
Maybe a digitized, or how would you make it look more 80s from a regular photo? What do you think?
well, I don't know. The way we should do this is really write down all the elements we need to have in there. So we need the title. We want our names on there. We want our some kind of photo or animation of us on there, because when you're scrolling, here's the reason why to the crowd. When you're scrolling on podcasts, if you want to look into my iTunes and scroll by, the ones that don't have the host picture on there, either they're pretty famous and it doesn't matter, or like
Or it's a murder serial
or
podcast.
yeah, or I don't know. I think it's kind of like we do with websites. Like you want to humanize it if you can, and if you can get someone that's personable, this is a personality kind of show, and so you figure if I'm taking a step back and kind of branding us, it's we're not getting the best guest yet. But we're going to work on that. But it's that thing of I talked to Brant Tobler, comedian Brant Tobler. He's going to come on pretty soon. He's the one who used to run numbers in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one who snuck in the national championship and sat next to me.
Oh, that's cool.
He's
I want to hear that
kinda,
story.
He's that kind of guy. Like he'll sneak into every sporting event, I think, like ever.
Really?
Like he's done a Super Bowl. He's done a national championship.
I remember there was a couple old dudes who did that for like 40 years straight, sneaking into the Super Bowl.
But he has a whole, if you look on This Is Not Happening, Tobler has a great story about wanting to kill his dad.
Oh.
Because he stole 80 grand from him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think I've actually heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah, that's Brant.
Wow.
It's
Yeah,
Brand with the T at the end. Brant.
Got it.
I like that name. But you kind of have to think about it as a dummy going through iTunes. If you don't know us and you're scrolling through, would you stop on us kind of thing? Then the other part is I want a really kick-ass audio logo. And if you go on Envato Market, however you say it, ENVATO,
Envato.
they have a lot of audio drops you can pick from if you ever need that, some stock kind of audio. And I'm trying to go, do we go like serious? Do we go into the air tonight where it picks up?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. This is really tough because I'm not I know I'm not crazy musically inclined, so I know I don't have the best ear for that.
Yeah.
I know I have a decent ear, but I wouldn't say I'm like, oh, this is why this will work.
I'm going to try some stuff.
Yeah. I was
just
like, do we get a
decided.
keyboard and just try to do it?
No, for real. You don't even need a keyboard. GarageBand, yo.
That's true. So I've been going through that with the little like watermark they put in there. Audio Jungle.
Yeah.
Every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So you're listening to
Audio
this like,
Jungle.
Audio Jungle. But I've
Preview.
maybe on the next episode I'll put that in the intro. But all right, let's get to it. IT problems. What you got? So to reset for everybody, you've opened the dentistry with the wifey.
New dental practice.
Forest Hills Dental.
Forest Hills Dental.
And named after Mr. Hills.
Yes.
Forest Hills.
Yes. Like the movie. We bought this practice and it's pretty old. And being a dental practice, there's HIPAA, which is the regulation from the government to keep people from knowing medical records of other people, sort of stuff. So we inherited a server system that's pretty old, and basically the wires and things were done super ghetto style. Like instead of installing Ethernet port jacks,
Okay.
there's a hole in the wall with the cable coming down. So if that cable
What?
goes bad, yes, coming out of it. So if that cable goes bad, no more internet in that room until somebody goes in the attic because they have all the wires in the walls. So that's fun.
So the cable company, the internet provider, who'd you get? Spectrum.
Oh, I got another way they fucked me on, but
Well, table that
yes.
for a second. So they didn't clean that up for you?
Spectrum, once we bought the place, already had all their gear in there and stuff, and we didn't need to have anybody come out. They did it remotely. But the wires and things that was done by another IT company that I need to find the receipt for what they did, because if we are in violation, we need to have the receipt of the person who installed it,
Right.
so that we can shift the blame. But it doesn't matter because we're getting it done. We're getting it upgraded. So don't call the Department of Justice or whoever handles it.
No, I mean, you have to show good faith, and I guarantee you're still protecting anything that's sensitive.
Yeah, I mean everything's protected. It's just not up to the modern standards. But yeah, it's going to be a huge pain in the ass to get all that stuff redone. So we get new routers and however they're going to get those cords out of the walls and then put in jacks. And
So a client I had a long time ago, you may want to look this up. They're called BICSI, BICSI. So it's the most boring subject I've ever had as like putting a website together.
Mm-hmm.
These are the guys that basically put Cat5 wires into into buildings. Like you have to go through a whole school. There's a whole schedule. Super boring. Like so boring that like I get asked questions about the content on the site, and I was like, I couldn't remember any of it because it was like, oh my god, it's just a bunch of acronyms and like, nothing sexy.
Yes.
Like the most boring.
Right.
Like I'd rather do one for copper wiring than this
Yeah.
one. Like so boring. So you need to look up like one of those kind of companies. It's either the company's BICSI or the wiring's like BCI. I want to say.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you put in
I'll
that
check it out.
if you Google that with some like Cat5 wiring, something will pull up.
BCI Integrated Solutions.
Yeah, so you can get one of those companies to do it, but usually that's a enterprise kind of mid to large company. For you, you're a local business.
Right. We wouldn't need it normally if we were in a dental office, because we need to get an enterprise level router for its protections, the sort of thing where if you plug an Ethernet cord in there, anything that's not recognized immediately rejected, sort of thing. So it's all complicated.
So listen up, everyone. I got a little rant to go on because look, the IT. Let's define IT first, right? People think we're IT.
We're not IT.
We're not IT.
Quit asking me to fix your printer.
If you're an older gent or lady, or
even something in between.
or you just kind of hate technology and you're just one of those people who's like, I'm going to live off the grid, but I have to ask everybody to do stuff for me on a phone.
I think we'll be the last generation that even has those that are like technology holdouts.
No, I think there's like contrarians. There's going to be hipsters that are like, I got a pager, man. Like right now.
The proportions got to go down.
Oh, sure. Like the singularity movement's already in motion.
Oh, yeah, brother.
We will become one with technology.
Yes, with technology.
So not you and I.
Yeah,
no,
I know.
That's shrooms. That's a different day.
So apartment.
That's a wormhole. But what IT is so important for local businesses, and they don't understand that. The deal is just like how we're on the front end. We program lightly. We don't set up a lot of hardware. We're doing a lot of software. We're doing a lot of apps, workflow, streamlining, like
user
a lot of
interface.
Yeah, a lot of design. Literally, what the user touches. What IT does is usually the thing that a user does not directly touch. Does that make sense?
Yes,
I think that's my big delineation. Is you need a server set up. You need Cat5 in your local business or your office or whatever, and you need backups and encryptions. You need cloud storage. Those are pretty much the 5 things you probably need from if you're a law firm. Anything with HIPAA, voluntary surgeon kind of thing. I'm gonna I made my vasectomy appointment.
Vasectomy. Don't ever change the way you say that.
I never will.
Good.
What's your last name? Reginger?
Yeah, exactly. Red Ginger.
So, if you're what we classify here as a super professional service business.
Yeah, but that's just you putting yourself over.
Well, I mean, it's called professional services, all right? Insurance.
Plus.
You can call it whatever you want, but the upper crust of professional services, right? So, because professional service could be house cleaning too. Nothing against that either, but I'm saying the very white collar, expensive, high ticket kind of service companies, private equity firms, hedge funds, anything having to do with investing.
Really, anybody using a credit card machine. I mean,
how about anybody? Yeah, anybody with anybody else's information.
Yeah, it's so widespread and probably super ignored by most. And I think we said it before. Small businesses are the targets. Places because they know you're not going to be able to easily break into Walmart's mainframe or whatever it is.
Yep.
So they know to just cruise around, look for some open Wi-Fi spots, especially a dental office where it's 1,000 patients and all of their info.
Here's a real easy one you can do. Everybody can do this. They can figure it out. Get your Wi-Fi. Make one a guest and one non-guest. So
one that doesn't keep the history.
And employees, you never flop on the guest one.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's something we got to do at this office is a whole separate Wi-Fi network from the one that runs on the computers,
right?
Because those are all hardlined, and it's so complicated.
So yeah, sometimes you just have to make that seems very basic and like that's not going to do much, but it does.
No, that's huge because it's the same idea. You can't having them both cross over. That's dangerous territory.
Yeah, and you never give out the professional Wi-Fi.
Yeah, no.
That one's internal. Always keep it internal. Never do that because it's just easy to be like, friend comes in the office, you're like, oh, here it is.
Well, even I don't even think we'll get a professional like a Wi-Fi for the staff. We would have
the
one.
Router.
We'd have one for the patients. That's Wi-Fi, and then everything we do is hardwired.
Yeah. So that's something everybody can do. You can walk through it online. I'm sure I've done it before. I need to do it here. Speaking of anything with sensitive client information, we take in a lot of sensitive info, and we have processes to make sure that we have a lot of passwords that while they're only for like their social media accounts a lot of the time.
Once a month,
we still encrypt it.
Law makes me print out all the information and go in the back and burn it in the trash can. Mm-hmm. At least once a month.
Well, if
we have a good month, it might be twice.
It's also a ritual.
Yeah.
To the being.
Yeah. Just put some blood on my face and
to Satan.
Do the chant.
So IT's so big and it's so underrated. I don't know what the line is to get a server. I don't know. Some of that seems like overkill or upsell sometimes.
Yeah.
But here's what I'll tell you. Here's a criteria on how to find a good IT company. I was thinking about this today. Because I was sending you a referral to help you with this situation. And I go, look, it's just like our situation where people don't know the pricing, like how much this should cost.
Right.
For them, and I wanted to rebrand our friends over at Scout over here, the only business-to-business Apple provider, certified service provider in the area. They were called Core, and I wanted to call them Sherpa. And I thought I was Don Draper, and it got denied by a partner.
Sherpa?
But it got denied by a partner that's not there anymore. So
fucking idiot. What does he know? Good. I'm glad he's gone.
So my logic was they're the invisible guides that get you up Mount Everest. If you don't hear from your IT company, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. If you don't hear from your web developer, that's probably a bad thing. I think they should still give you an update, even if there's no news.
Yes. I feel like IT is not as ongoing of a process as web development is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, but I'm just saying anything digital, people are going to lump both of them into the same cup. And I'm saying, they're different. But look, the cost of doing a service nowadays, just like we talked about, you pretty much have to be on Google Ads if you're a service business. Mm-hmm. Even if it's $50 a month, you kind of it's the cost of doing business now. IT is so important and so underrated. Literally, I think it's so undervalued because just think of the phones alone, right?
Right.
How much crap from business slides over to your personal phone or whatever. I try to delineate with apps, but I mean, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
And then you think about if you have a big staff that has phones that either you pay for or you don't, like you have to make sure they don't have any sensitive information there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because it's really tough to keep on top of.
Yeah. Oh, I was pretty much thunderstruck by how much shit I didn't know about this. I mean, they got a
Like
router. Well, just when you look, I mean, I've never really looked at a machine and been like, I have no idea what this does. I mean, with wires, and it was just like I couldn't find an on button, sort of stuff. Felt so stupid.
Well, yeah, and
But-
then that makes you quit, right?
Yes.
Most people,
I was like, call somebody.
most
Call 'em.
people, not you. You're
This was after hours of attempts for
right.
me.
The little things like that can make you quit.
Yeah.
I'll throw out some stats. I want to hear some more bitching about this, though. Let's see. 61% of breaches hit smaller businesses last year, up from the previous 53%.
Big jump.
Yeah, according to U.S. Capitol, cyber attacks cost small businesses between $84,000 and $148,000. Yeah, that's if you hear that $84,000 and $148,000.
Googling cyber insurance.
That's important too. I'd ask all the dumb questions there as well. Same with
I didn't even know if it was a real thing until I Googled it.
Oh, it's definitely a real thing.
Pretty much any insurance you can think of.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know what it really would do because the hard part is the digital stuff is so in the legal area is so tough. It's so tough to kind of get older judge or mediator to understand.
Yeah.
Why
Why didn't you just keep it on paper like I do?
Well, I've told the story. I had a bad debt client that just clearly fucked us over, and I explained like, here's our communication tool called Slack. Here's all our communication. I printed it out. Check it out. I highlighted everything. Here's where non-payment happened, and he was like, like he couldn't even handle it. And I wasn't even being overwhelming. I was just trying to answer questions and provide evidence or whatever supporting argument. And
My ruling is against the nerd.
he just didn't. Yeah, he just didn't like that he got cut off all the time from this bum. Because the guy kept talking over him. The guy was the bad debt client.
Jeez, and he still didn't side with you.
Oh, dude, I was like, please arrest this. I hope he goes like contempt of court.
Yeah.
Like, that's how many times it happened.
I mean, there's judges that'll do it the first time. I mean, maybe they give you a little warning
He was
shot.
like, sir, if you interrupt me one more time, he had to say that.
Wow.
Yeah. He's like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on. And I made sure I can talk about this publicly. So
Good.
well, that might be another episode too, because I still got to get that out of my system. 60% of small businesses go out of business within 6 months of an attack. Well, I would say
Jesus.
that correlates with the cyber attack that takes out 150,000. 90% of small businesses don't use any data protection
Whoa, that's
for
crazy.
customer information. Yeah, well,
There is like,
You
the
gotta
credit
think-
card companies do have their own levels that they require. That's another thing that I was getting into is
this is through USA Today, so this
Ow,
isn't like
that's not news.
well, it looked like they procured it from some legit company, but at the very least, even if these are kind of juiced up for USA Today, whack off a third of all of those
Even if
stats.
even if it's 60%.
Yeah, it's still crazy. And it's the thing like eating healthy. You guys know you need to do it. You know if you have a business, and I'm talking to you right in your ear hole. You know-
Ronald.
hey, Ronald, I'm not going to call you Ronnie until we're not friends anymore until you get an IT company. And here's what you need to look for, because we're trying to keep these at about 33, 34
Get your
minutes.
pencil,
episodes.
Ronald. Run out of time.
When you're hiring an IT company, it's an ongoing relationship. So A, 24/7 service. Do they have it? B, do they explain stuff to you?
Mm-hmm.
C, when they give you a bill, do they show you itemized what it is?
Mm-hmm. No other charges,
Uh,
quote unquote, other,
D,
where they don't describe it.
D, did you shop around? You don't have to go to the first one,
Mhm.
right? Make sure that you look at Windows versus Mac because those are separate worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So you should just, if you're one or the other, if you're splitting between both, that's going to be tough.
Make sure they're a little bit of a dick. You want your IT person to fit that mold of condescending, smarmy sort of guy.
Well, can they communicate? And I think that's our biggest thing here is we're able to kind of explain the internet.
You having trouble explaining it?
In terms, no, I'm just pausing. In terms of, I'm having a stroke. And we can explain what's going on with branding or advertising online or operations online in a way that we use empathy of the client to figure out what they're into and use that as a metaphor to explain it.
Yes.
That is
good luck getting that from an IT guy.
Right. They're few and far between. Luckily, I have two here that I kind of sought out a little bit. Not hardcore, but the Apple one was just a neighbor in our little area here in Ybor City. I saw an Apple flag on their bungalow office, and I was like, "What is this?" And just stumbled in it. They're business to business, so they're not really promoting a lot.
No storefront really.
So make sure you're finding a business to business. Really do the references, like ask for references.
Find out if
this shit's more important than almost any other vendor you have.
Yeah, there's going to be, like for the dental office, there's certain certifications, qualifications that need to be met. Make sure all that, you first of all know what your business needs, and then check with them before you even talk to them. Look it up. All that stuff's online beforehand. And
you're probably thinking, oh, I can just, I can get out of this by, they have to sign a disclaimer, or we have enough insurance. No, it's not. It doesn't work that way. You got to do that and this. This is an expensive. This is an expense that most people declare as expensive, but if you just heard that stat, $84,000, $148,000. If you got attacked, and then 6 months, you got a coin flip. If your business is still around, that would crush us for sure.
Yes,
we have insurance though. Yeah, but the delay to getting paid on that.
Yeah, we'd be living under a bridge.
The cash flows would kill us.
Yeah.
Credit
cards.
Yeah. Let's just be honest, though. It's that thing of everybody knows they need to not have sugar, right?
Preaching to the choir.
Myself included. But everybody knows that owns a business, they need a good IT company, and I don't know why this gets put off, especially when you hear a data breach every other day.
I agree.
All right.
Good,
I like
good
these
way
little
to
mini
end it.
episodes. I think this might be the way to go for our hang sessions.
Yeah. Sweaty hang sesh.
So tell a friend about the podcast. If you want to give a review, we'd like that.
Yeah, do it. There's a lot of friends of mine. I know you listen and you're not reviewing.
I know. Why is it they can't make that one button just move over and just think?
I accidentally review things all the time. 5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars. Write a little something. We're on Spotify. We're on the Laughable app. I think we're on Google Play Store and Amazon Store. We got to check into that. iTunes, all that good stuff. But give us a review on iTunes. That one's the one that matters the most because 80% of podcast listeners listen via iTunes.
Yes.
So that's important to us. The more you give, the more we're going to give back. You're good to us. We're great to you back. That's what I like to say.
I wasn't really paying attention.
All right.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.